everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Bond's Apartment YouTube channel. I, of course, am Luke Taggart at Bond's Apartment, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. Thank you guys again. First off, wanted to also thank you guys. Thank you for making the Adidas review and the Palladium review, both over 1,000 views on YouTube. So thank you guys for that. I appreciate you guys supporting the channel and keeping coming on back. So I appreciate that. This is just going to be a quick, no spoiler review. I've been waiting to do this for a few days, but this is going to be a quick, no spoiler review of No Time to Die. So before I really get started in that, I kind of want to tell a quick story about going to see it. I actually was able to see it at a press screening, and I wasn't able to bring anybody with me, so I saw it alone. And I knew at some point in time I'd want to see this film alone. All the hype behind it, and then when it finally comes out, just being in the theater with somebody, not mentioning any names, but saying who's this guy or who's she or why this, it's all the hype and what I do with this YouTube channel and Instagram and everything. I knew I was going to go see it alone at some point. So when I got a call from Mr. David Zaritsky, the Bond Experience, and he invited me to go to this press screening. Not only was I thrilled, but I couldn't have been more thankful. So David, thank you for that. Truly an unbelievable friend, unbelievable mentor. The guy is an absolute gem and a legend. So thank you for that. But yeah, so I went and saw it, the press screening on the 28th, same exact time as the London premiere. Like I said, it was alone, and it was also strange because there was only about 8 people in the theater. It's for press screening. It's Michigan. There's not that many film critics and stuff here. So, the film's very emotional for a lot of different reasons. One of the main reasons, it's being Craig's last Bond film. And of course, I remember when he was cast, I was pissed. I grew up with Pierce Brosnan. I was still obviously pretty young, but I was old enough to be annoyed. And then, of course, once Casino Royale came out, Daniel Craig was it for me, So for it to be his last film was very sad, very melancholy, almost 3 hours. So with that said, as far as the film goes, like I said, no spoilers with this one. So for now, I'll probably do another one along the way, maybe have some guests with me. But as far as this one goes, the film I thought was actually fantastic. Critically speaking, right now it's number 3 of Craig's. It's like fluctuating between an 82 and an 83% on Rotten Tomatoes. So it's currently number 3 by a lot, and it's going to stay number 3 because Spectre and Quantum are in the 60s. So this one's in the low 80s. It's going to stay critically as his 3rd best film. And with that said, I would probably rank it the same for myself. I think Casino is number 1 for me, then Skyfall, and then this one. And this one and obviously all the rest of his films have a very different tone, but this one is somewhat equal to Skyfall for me too. So in many ways, but so as far as the story goes, I thought the story was solid. It wasn't anything crazy, but I thought it was very relevant to the times we're in. And also the actors, everybody brought their A game. That was one thing I noticed. And something I also said on our podcast was some of the new characters, Paloma and Nomi in particular, I don't know if they did this, I'm not trying to act like I'm some, casting director or some writer or something, but it seemed like their backstory really shined through during their performance, if that makes any sense. It kind of seemed like you could really tell why they were there and why they were doing what they were doing and saying what they were saying. It seemed like maybe the actors worked out a backstory on their own, or their performances were just that good. And that's from Daniel Craig all the way down to Rory Kinnear, who as usual isn't super abundant in the film. They were all fantastic. Cary Fukunaga directed the hell out of this. Cinematography is incredible. The locations, obviously, which we've all seen a lot of images and videos and articles about the locations, they're beautiful. And Rami Malek was great. Daniel Craig and Lea Seydoux, their love story throughout this film, I thought literally could compete with a love story, literally with even, an actual romantic drama film. I thought it was that good, truly. And I'm assuming Phoebe Waller-Bridge had a lot to do with that. I know she's very comedy drama related, but I think she had to have had something to do with that, and you could tell it was just so well written, and it pulls you in the second they're on screen together, and then when they're not on screen together and it's just one of them, if it has something to do with that story, it's excellent. um let's see what else. Not a whole lot I can say without spoilers, and I'm not going to do it. I've talked to a couple people in the community, the Bond community, about doing a spoiler video, so that'll come soon. But for now, this is like I said, the non-spoiler review. So there's not a whole lot I can say. Um, I thought Safin was a good character, solid character. I would have liked to see him a little more. It wasn't as like how Christoph Waltz probably should have been on screen a lot more in Spectre. It wasn't that much, but we could have used a little more Rami Malek for sure. But and I will say the opening sequence, chilling, phenomenal. So buckle up for that. What else? Lea Seydoux, much more involved in this film, and not involved in a way where she's on screen more. I think she's probably on screen an equal amount, maybe slightly more, but her character is a lot more complex, gives her a lot more depth. So I thought that was great. And all the female characters were not only written very well, but they all had great storylines, and each of those actors were incredible. So and then we'll move on. Paloma, somebody else, needed to be on screen more, but when you do see her, kicks ass, awesome. Her character, I've even seen reviews of the film that aren't so good, but are highlighting how great her character is. So there's that too. So look forward to Paloma. Nomi, her character was awesome. I know there was a lot of speculation, a lot of talk with people being afraid that she would come in and Bond would take like a back seat to her. And, for this particular film, I get where that would be a concern because it is a James Bond movie. He needs to be the hero. But the way they wrote Nomi, Paloma, Lea Seydoux, even Naomi Harris, Bond is still the hero, but they're not riding his coattails. They're right alongside with him, which I thought was good. It wasn't, the female characters weren't an afterthought, but they also weren't overshadowing him. They were right there next to him, and I thought that was perfect. Yeah, this is difficult. No spoilers is difficult. What else? This is tough. Yeah, Seeing It Alone, I recommend, but not for the overly emotional person like myself. May or may not have shed a couple tears, and you know we'll get past it together. But no, Daniel Craig too. As far as Daniel Craig goes, I thought story-wise, this was his most powerful film. So I think he said it before in an interview, probably a long time ago, that Bond is a difficult character to play because he doesn't have that much dialogue. So all your acting is right here with your face. And this one I think is a little different. I think it's maybe a little half and half, but I will say this, and this is probably the closest thing to a spoiler as I'll get. There's a few scenes in this film where he isn't saying anything and his acting is so incredible, like emotional and kind of heartbreaking. He conveys exactly what he wants to convey just with a look, and it's like devastating. So that was something that I wanted to point out as well. I thought like I said, they all brought their A game in this film, but I thought he killed it. Him and Lea Seydoux, I think, really had a lot to work with, and really took advantage of that. And I think lastly for this little review, I'll do Cary Fukunaga. I think he, I know that he actually approached Barbara and Michael about doing this. He put his name in the mix and was fortunate enough to get the role. And I think he took full advantage of it. Um, Overall, the story is great. Cinematography, as I said, unbelievable. And Cary Fukunaga did not disappoint with his Bond debut. I actually wouldn't mind seeing him direct another one. Um, I thought even just some of the camera work and some of the decisions he made camera wise and um, some of the direction I'm assuming he gave some of the characters, some of the actors is was great. I mean, he really seems to know what he's doing with, because he's mostly known for True Detective. So you go from an HBO series, and I think he only did one season. I think he did the first season. So you go from something like that to something like Bond, and that is quite the undertaking. You have basically an endless amount of money to work with, and your crew's probably triple the size and all the different locations and all the different actors and all the big name actors, like just the endless list of incredible talent he had to work with. And I think he utilized it all perfectly. So with that said, my non-spoiler review, I would give this movie like an 8 out of 10. And it's definitely worth seeing. It's definitely I think even if you're not entirely happy with it, even if it's not exactly what you expected, I think you can walk away at least agreeing that it was a great film. I think we can say that much. So thank you guys for watching this quick video. Stay tuned. Like I said, I think I'll be working with a couple people in the community to do a spoiler review once it's actually out here in a couple days. And I'll see you guys then. And I hope you guys enjoy the film. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll talk to you guys soon.